Kat. Hello, Kat. I know Kat. She's on our course, online course. I'm interested in understanding the use and purpose of the arm levitation and catalepsy technique. Okay, like Erickson did in the Mondi video. Okay, well, yes, I've been asked this quite a few times. Why would we use an arm levitation or catalepsy? Well, think about this. Neither of them appear to be normal behavior. If your arm starts lifting all by itself, it's a little spooky, right? So most people are not used to that. So it's a way of confirming to the client that something is different, something's happening in that particular session. And it's something that's out of their normal range of conscious ability to just make it happen without any effort. So they immediately, if you like, understand that this is a trance experience developing, number one. And secondly, that they have no control over it, that it's happening all by itself, which means their unconscious mind is also giving them a message, which is, I can do it without your help. And because that's the main thrust of what Erickson was doing, was teaching that the unconscious mind could help the client rather than the conscious mind trying to solve problems themselves with a limited amount of information that they had in their frames of reference on a day-to-day basis. The other purpose of an arm levitation, of course, is a deepening process in itself. So first of all, the client lets go and sees the arm lifting or feels the arm lifting if their eyes are closed at that time, and has to make sense of that. So that explains the first part I've just said. The second part is, of course, we add suggestions to that as the arm lifts, gets higher and higher towards the face, let's say, because Erickson liked the hand to go towards the face. We add suggestions that as the arm lifts, the higher it lifts, the deeper the trance can be. So the client's going deeper. And what I do when using an arm levitation is I attach or associate the lifting with the breathing. Because when we breathe, we go inhale, exhale. So it's up and down, right? So if you encourage lifting every time the client inhales, so higher, deeper, higher, deeper, higher, letting go, higher, more and more. What you're doing is you're using the breathing as a vehicle for deepening the trance experience. Now, as I said, Erickson used to get the hand to touch the face. And I think this is great because you can then include frustration with it. If you frustrate a trance, it makes it more compelling. So again, it's part of the process. The arm levitation is a great way to induce hypnosis, and Erickson used it a lot. It was one of his favorite inductions. So what I'll do when the hand starts coming close to the face, I'll tell the client not to go all the way into trance until the hand touches the face. So now you've got the anticipation, the embedded suggestion that they're going to go all the way when the hand touches the face. It's down to the client, of course, the speed of this induction. But of course, it's linked to breathing already. So inhaling, see my hand now, as I inhale, the arm comes up, each time coming up like this towards the face. Let me just mention something. If you're using this, sometimes you may need the elbow to come out at the side, because if the elbow's tucked in, it actually gets to a point where it can't touch the face. The hand can't touch the face. So you need the elbow out. So sometimes I've had to lean over and lift the client's elbow just to take it out from the side of the body. And then the hand can come up and do this, you see. Just a little point you need to notice if you're getting stuck with that, if you're practicing it. So the use of it initially as an induction is to induce trance, to create this awareness of the unconscious mind, taking responsibility for the experience, and also as a deepening process. And of course, once the hand is up there, you can even give the suggestion now all the way down, because if you've frustrated it up to that point. So deeper, 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 deeper. As they exhale, all the way down. You can take a deep breath yourself at this, so your tonality sounds all the way down. So it really implies it, especially if you time it with their exhalation as well, all the way down. Okay, but the hand's not going to come down. It's going to stay there, right? Which is good news for us, because then you can use the hand lowering to deepen it even further. And now, so you can use it as a further deepening process as the hand lowers down to the lap, deeper, deeper, deeper. Or if you're satisfied with the depth of trance at that particular point, you could use it to go on a journey somewhere, finding some place to go deeper into trance in terms of a visualization, and there's colors, shapes, images, sounds, create a special place for you to go now, sort of thing. Or you can even use it therapeutically. And as your hand lowers, your unconscious mind can access the resources you need to resolve your problem. Now, you'll see a similarity between this and Ernest Ross's mirroring hands technique, which I've been asked about also, which I'm going to address in this particular webinar. You'll see a similarity, with that. So as the hand comes down, so the unconscious mind is finding solutions to resolve the problem. Catalepsy is a different phenomena, and usually I don't do them together because they are separate. You could do them together, but catalepsy is where your arm is rigid, stuck there. Okay. If you want to produce a catalepsy with a hand there, the harder they try to lower their hand, the more difficult it becomes. Well, you're demonstrating unconscious phenomena that you're not using it really to do a deepening process. So catalepsy, I usually induce that by, and same as Erickson, how he did it, with an arm lifting up here. Now, there are different ways you can do this, of course. I wouldn't normally get the arm levitation and then get it to straighten out, although you could. I've already got the phenomena of the arm lifting by itself, so I don't need a double proof of the phenomena. But in terms of hypnotic phenomena, to basically, again, confirm to the conscious mind that the unconscious mind is doing something all by itself without the person consciously making an effort, I will often lift the arm, okay? And this comes into something called surprise techniques, which I also have been asked about in this webinar, so I'll address that a little bit later as well. So lifting the arm. So I'll lift the arm. Let me show you my wrist here, okay? I think I mentioned this before, but just to confirm it. When you've got an arm straight out, you lift it maybe at the elbow, because otherwise you get that phenomena, okay? You lift it at the elbow. But then once you've got that there, what you can do is, you see how I'm moving up and down? What I'm doing, I'm testing the weight of that arm. If I took my fingers away, would they suddenly just drop? Okay. Or will it stay there if I took my fingers away? So I'm reducing the support of my hand underneath the arm. And so what I want to do is I want to get, forgive the bended arm, it's meant to be straight. Okay. But if I want to get that arm to be straight, and then once it's in the air, it's already got a degree of catalepsy, but I want to now fix it in the air. So what I'll do, I press it down a little bit, press it, lift it up, press it side to side. So I'm locking it in space. So that's how I'm getting the arm catalepsy, locking it in space. And by doing that, you're basically accommodating people who are very resistant, but also people who are willing to go along with it. Because if you push down and they're willing to go with it, they'll allow their hand to lower, and they'll allow their hand to lift, to go one side or another. They'll allow that. They'll allow you to do that. The important thing is you're fixing it in space. If they're resistant, when you push down, they'll push back. And they're doing the same thing themselves. They're actually locking it themselves. So you push down, they push up, you push up, they push down. And so you're accommodating two different kind of personality types and then locking it in space. And the reason you would use catalepsy is really as a form of hypnotic phenomena. I think, in traditional hypnosis, you call it a convincer or something. But it's much more than a convincer, isn't it? If your arm's just stuck there and you can't lower it. You could then, once you've got a catalepsy, you could test it. But what I often do then is I will use, basically with any phenomena that I induce, I will use one phenomena to induce the next phenomena. So for example, if they can't lower their hand, it's stuck there, I would say something like, and you haven't realized how your eyelids are exactly the same, without you knowing how it's happened, your unconscious mind, as you can't open your eyes. The harder you try to open your eyes, the more difficult it becomes. And then you'll start to see them struggling to open their eyes. You ask them to, I'd like you to try, use that try word, which implies difficulty. Try and open your eyes. And so this is all hypnotic phenomena to really convince the client that they are in a trance, and it's something that's happened to them from within them at their unconscious level. And that way they kind of let go consciously at kind of trying to solve their problem, because they realize there's a much more powerful part of themselves that can do the therapy better if it's left alone to do its work. And so this is why we'd normally use the arm levitation and catalepsy. We can use them, of course, therapeutically. You have to think of context. What kinds of problems could you use arm levitation for? Okay, I don't know, it could be a metaphor, because arm lifting like that, the implication is it's getting lighter, of course. And so you could use it for anything to do with something getting lighter. Okay, you could have catalepsy as anything to do with rigidity. Okay, erectile dysfunction, why not? Okay, maybe you can use it for something like that, or the alternative is to reduce rigidity. So you metaphorically have the rigidity, and then what you do, you get the unconscious mind to make the hand start to feel heavier and then let go, and maybe you even lift it yourself and lower it down like this to show the rigidity's gone. So it's like a metaphor for letting go. So you can use hypnotic phenomena as therapy by using the particular phenomena as a metaphor for change in some way. Okay, Kat, thank you for that question. That's a great question.